Day 2 of Prime Minister Modi's visit to Australia. Yesterday, the mega reception captured the headlines. Today, the leaders got down to business. Prime Ministers Albanese and Modi held talks. Now, usually, bilateral talks are a mundane affair, largely about diplomatic statements and bilateral agreements. But today was different. Today, we have significant outcomes to report. The first big takeaway is this: Prime Minister Modi's strong message on separatism, the pro-Khalistan elements and the attacks on Indian temples in Australia. In recent months, we witnessed a spate of such incidents. Hindu temples across Australia have been vandalized. Since January, at least 4 Hindu temples have been attacked. And who was behind them? Khalistani separatists, groups and individuals who want to divide India, who want a separate country for Sikhs carved out of the Indian state of Punjab. The Khalistan movement has been a violent one. It's been outlawed in India, but it has taken root in the West, mostly in countries like Canada, the UK, the US, and now Australia. In a lot of these cases, separatists operate with the backing of Pakistan. They're funded and supported by forces who want to hurt India. And New Delhi sees these overseas Khalistanis as a clear national security challenge. So India has reacted sharply to attacks on its diplomatic missions and Hindu temples. It has demanded swift action against the perpetrators. It has asked governments to crack down on them. Prime Minister Modi raised the issue again today with his Australian counterpart.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया में मंदिरों पर होने वाले हमलों और अलगाववादी तत्वों की गतिविधियों के संबंध में हमने पहले भी बात की थी और आज भी हमने बात की है। भारत और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सौहार्दपूर्ण रिश्तों को कोई भी तत्व अपने विचारों या अपने एक्शन से आघात पहुंचाए, ये हमें स्वीकार्य नहीं है।
It is important to act decisively and urgently. You see, the Indian community in Australia is growing, especially the Sikh community. In 2016, there were 130,000 Sikhs in Australia. 5 years later, in 2021, that number shot up to 210,000. India fears that this community is vulnerable. If separatists are allowed to operate freely, they will target the Sikh community. They will exploit these numbers to revive the Khalistan movement. Prime Minister Albanese of Australia has repeatedly given a personal assurance to check this. He has vowed to use every available resource to crack down on Khalistanis, and the fact that Indian Prime Minister Modi brought it up again shows how seriously New Delhi views this. So separatism was high on the agenda, but there was much more to the conversation today between the two leaders. The second big takeaway from today's meeting is a migration deal. India and Australia signed this deal today. It will significantly improve India's access to Australia. This deal will benefit students, graduates, academic researchers and business owners. How? By ensuring more visas and easier travel rules. Australia will create a new type of visa, a 3-month temporary visa exclusively for Indian nationals. This will be for people who want to visit Australia to see family members who are working or studying there. And that's not all. Business visas will now enable longer stay. Plus, there will be yet another type of visa for academics and specialists. All in all, easier access to Australia. The third major takeaway is on the security front. India and Australia are seeking more synergy. They have a common security challenge called China. Through military and diplomatic moves, the Communist Party of China has threatened the security of both India and Australia, even challenged their sovereignty. Now, this issue was supposed to come up during the Quad summit. The Quad, as you would know, is a multilateral grouping with 4 members: India, Australia, the United States and Japan. Their leaders were supposed to meet in Sydney today. But Biden changed his plans at the last moment and the summit had to be called off. So Modi and Albanese took up some of the Quad agenda in today's meeting. They recognized the threat from China without naming it, and they reaffirmed their commitment to protecting the Indo-Pacific.
Quad leaders stand together for an open, stable, secure and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. A region where sovereignty is respected and all countries, large and small, benefit from a regional balance that keeps the peace.
So those were the important takeaways. They also discussed cooperation on mining and critical minerals. There's talk of an Australia-India green hydrogen task force, plus a trade deal. They're close to signing one. It could happen by the end of this year. And all of this shows how India's relationship with Australia is evolving. Prime Minister Modi described it best.
पिछले एक साल में यह हमारी छठी मुलाकात है। अगर क्रिकेट की भाषा में मैं कहूं तो हमारे संबंध T20 मोड में आ गए हैं।
Our ties have entered the T20 mode, he said, meaning just like a fast-paced T20 game, bold and rapid changes are being made to redefine the India-Australia relationship.